This is Leslie Langdon with you today. Want to show you what we'll be working with. This is the February 2011 Kit of the Month by Unity Stamp Company. And I'll just show you how I store my stamps. And this is on a Stamp and Store binder insert that you can put into binders. And the cling just sticks to them. Take them off, put them on. Easy peasy. You can buy these in packs of 5 or 10, I think. They're made by EZ Mount, and it's a great way to store your stamps. Clearly visible all the time. And then I also give myself a little note here about what stamps they are. So this says Feb 2011, and this one says January 2011. Okay? So if you haven't heard of Kit of the Month, what it is, it's Unity Stamp Company's Kit Club. And for a low, low price, you can get an 8.5 by 11 sheet of rubber delivered to your door every month. Lots of perks too. You get 25% off all your orders. Anyway, that's that. We'll be using February Kit of the Month, so this is for you guys, all you members out there. And let's make a nice card. We'll be doing some coordinating with pattern papers and inks and Copic markers. All right. So when you're approaching making a card, usually, you think about what stamps you're going to use and also what pattern paper, what inks, and what colors of marker or, whatever you might be using. So these are the stamps from the February Kit of the Month that I'll be using. One is this heart stamp and the other one is the sentiment. I'm going to just set those aside now, and I'm going to look into my pattern paper to try and find the inks and colors that will work well. So I'll show you what I do. I usually take just a plain piece of white cardstock and I'll take the ink and I'll just rub it on the paper. And I'll just see, does that pink match? And it's actually a pretty good match. Then I'll take, a green, because there is a green in this paper, and that is actually a really good match as well. There is no orange, but I do want to add orange to my card. So just see whether that looks all right, and it does. And then I'm going to try and match that blue. So, okay, well, I've done pretty well. So, just put your paper against all these colors and see, does that work well together? And if it does, then great, you've got your inks all chosen. Next, if I'm going to color an image, which I will color a little bit of this heart, I'm going to go to my Copic markers and I'm going to try and find a match for the ink. So I'll take a couple oranges and see which one works best. Alright, so I can just see, which orange I want to use, and they're actually both a pretty good match, so it wouldn't really matter which one I go with. So I'll just set it aside anyway. Okay, and then I'll try and match the green. Okay, that's way too bright, so just that's out. Oh, that's closer, but not quite a good match. And that's also not really a good match. So I'm out for green, but I do have a solution for that. And here we go with blues. That's a little bright, but it's okay. I'm going to go with that blue. And pinks, oh, that's definitely too bright. And that's not really a good match either. So I am out of luck for my pink and my green. But I do have a solution, and I'll show you this. I don't know if you've ever seen this product, but it's called Cut and Dry Nibs from Ranger. And what you do is they essentially act like a marker tip. And you just go in, take your nib here. I saturate mine to get it wet first so it can pick up a lot of the ink. And then, it's going to be the same color because you're getting it directly from the ink pad. So this will be a perfect match. Okay, so you can do that for both. And I'll show you, this one's wet, but I'll show you what it looks like with a dry one. Okay, so just roll it around in the ink pad. Okay, so this is like your own customized marker. Alright, so I will come back and do that later, but now we do have all the essentials for making our card. So let's begin our stamping. All right, so here we have a card, and its size is 4 1/4 by 9. It's a rather long card, but this is a nice shape, and it's hardly ever used. You know, you hardly ever see cards this size, so let's try something different. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a line with my pencil because I'm going to be stamping the sentiment over and over again, and I want it to be in a relatively straight line. Okay, so I'll line it up here. And I'll gently draw the lightest pencil mark because we want to erase it after we're done. Okay. Now I'll begin stamping. So I've got the sentiment here, and I'm going to be using all these inks to line it up. So I'll start with green, put the stamp down on the table, and then apply ink from the top. You get more pressure that way. Okay, so I'm going to line up the bottom of the stamp with this line. Okay, press firm, lift up, there you go. Okay, and then to get the ink off the stamp, what I do is just take a piece of scrap paper and I rub it over and over again, and then the stamp is nice and clean. Instead of a baby wipe, that is a solution. Okay, next is Broken China Distress Ink. Again, line it up with the line. Okay, get rid of the excess ink here. Next, this is Raspberry Adirondack ink. So that's what it's looking like so far. We've got our line of sentiments, and now it's time to work with the heart. Okay, so it's going to go there. So heart, all right, here we are. This is where we bring in our trusty dusty black ink. Can't go wrong with black inks. I think I own about 6 different brands of black ink. And then the ones that I really love, I've bought 2 of them. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the heart anywhere so I can pick up this pattern, the pattern paper. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out certain parts of this heart. So what I'll need to do is stamp it on a die cut circle. These are die cut with Spellbinders, Nestabilities, the circles. Okay, and I'm going to stamp the heart in the middle of the circle. Okay, so what we're going to do is color some of this. And I need my scissors. La la. All right, so I'm going to cut out a portion of this heart so you can get an idea of how it's starting to look. All right, and then we'll color the inside with our Copic markers and with our inks. So we need the green ink out and the pink ink because those two we couldn't find a match for. All right, so let's set that aside. All right, let's start with our Copics because that's easy. So color the inside here. Okay, I'm going to double up on the blue because we have 5 colors and I've only got, or 5 lines and I've only got 4 colors. So blue and orange are complementary, so I'll put those side by side. Okay, now here's the fun part where you take your nibs and you dip it into the ink itself, the ink pad, and you color it in. Custom matching. Oops. And these are reusable, these nibs, so just put them in water and that will, the ink will just run out of them. And then you can use them again with other colors. All right. Okay, and if you want, just take a little bit of water. I've got a little water container over here. And you can kind of treat this like watercolor and just blend in the colors. So there you go. Now here's the pink, the last color to color in. Okay, so there you have it. All right, got our colors in there, half colored with Copic markers and half colored with ink. Now, this technique with the cut and dry nibs, it doesn't really work for a big thing that you're drawing or that you're filling in with color, but it does work on smaller images where you just need a touch here or a touch there. Okay? We also need to color the outside of the heart, so I'm going to do that in blue. Just watch the outside of the heart because that will show. You don't want it to run. Okay. All right, now we can glue our pieces that we cut out. Okay. I'm going to use these adhesive squares by Glue Arts. They come on a roll like this and they're so super sticky and they're so thin, so you won't, there won't be any popping up of this. Okay. So line it up, place it down, and one more piece. Where did it go? Oh, it's right there. Okay. All right, we are looking good. All right, so it's starting to come together. It's a really cute card. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to use these adhesive squares again to put on the heart. Line it up. And I do want to give this card some dimension. I want this to pop up a little bit. So I'm going to use You Cut It foam. You can cut your own shape here. This is also by Glue Arts. All right, so I'm just going to cut myself 3 pieces to pop up this heart. Turn it over. 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, since it's double-sided, you have to peel off the foam on the other side. Okay. Sometimes this is a little tricky. Find if you get your nail into the foam, it lifts up automatically. So there you go. All right, now I am going to erase this line right now. It's like it was never there, and somehow everything's all lined up for you. Okay, let's shake this off on the floor. I'll get that later. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So here is the final card using the February 2011 Unity Stamp Company kit of the month. So there it is. I added some stitching to the bottom. It's a wavy stitch that I have on my sewing machine, but it just dresses it up a little bit. Oh, someone's coming to say hello. Hello. Hi, baby. Bye-bye. That's how he gets around, my little scoocher. Okay, back to the card. All right, thanks for watching. See you soon. No, I did not just spill Coke all over.